We're live now. Wait a few seconds, wait for people to pop on here. I'll go through the muscle of the day here in just a moment. If I don't respond to your comment immediately, I apologize. I'll just be on a roll. Just make sure that it's a very clean cut thing, and so that way, I'm gonna take my socks off. They're a little slippery. There we go. Yeah, so I'll make sure that this muscle a day is one clean cut because I'll go afterwards and I will clip the highlight of the muscle of the day, and that way it's on the channel. And I also post these on YouTube, so if you want to check them out there as well, and the whole live stream. So eventually off of this channel, it'll I guess it expires after a bit. So if you want to go back and watch any of these, they will be on YouTube as well. All right, just to wait. Hey, Rusted Helmet, how's it going? You doing okay? Doesn't even show I have a viewer yet, but you are obviously on here. Good deal. Just killing time before work again? Wow. Alrighty. Yep, just getting ready for work. Good deal, good deal. Did you watch any Johnny Bravo clips since we talked last? Did you check that out? Alrighty. As you're replying to that, I'll wait just a little bit more, see if a couple more people pop on here. We got a lot of upper body workouts or exercises today. Might have watched one or two, not sure. Yeah. So it's very interesting as an adult, and Looney Tunes too. Like I've been going through like the old ones, not the one that was, what was it called? The Looney Tunes show that Cartoon Network did later on. Not the same thing. So I've been going back and watching some of the Looney Tunes lately too, and they're still gold. They're still priceless. All right, let's go ahead and do our muscle of the day. So the muscle of the day today is the rhomboids. So just like every other muscle of the day, it seems like we've done so far, it's not just one muscle. We're actually technically talking about two, but people usually put them together. No big deal. I call them rhomboids, plural. So this one is a back muscle. So here is the rhomboid major. Yeah, major. So it's the bigger section here. You can see how it connects on the inside of the shoulder blade, and then connects to even some of these thoracic vertebrae here. And then the next one is the rhomboid minor. So it's a little bit more towards the top of the scapula or the shoulder blade, still on the inside, and then connects into some of the thoracic, but also kind of goes into the cervical vertebrae as well, but it connects there. So these muscles contract in the direction that they're going. So this minor part contracts, it helps pull the shoulder blade, both rhomboids actually pull the shoulder blades in towards the spine. The minor does a little bit of an elevation of the shoulder blade, just a tiny bit. The major helps pull the bottom tip of the shoulder blade. If this is my shoulder blade, it helps pull that in, that bottom tip down in towards the spine. If this is the spine here, it pulls that bottom tip in and even kind of like tilts the top part backwards. So that way the shoulder joint itself almost pulls back a little bit. So I'm going to demonstrate just simply what these two do. So these are the rhomboids, very important muscles for helping stabilize that shoulder blade, really helps with posture. And so it's very simple. So you can do just practice this muscle too, just standing. So I just have my arms limp. All I'm going to do is I'm going to pinch my shoulder blades back, like I'm trying to pinch a pencil between them. That's it. Those are your rhomboids. There's a bunch of other muscles in there too, but just keep it simple. The rhomboids help pull those shoulder blades back. The minor, so the one on the top that's a little bit smaller, that one helps elevate the shoulder blades just a smidge. It helps pull it in towards the spine. It helps elevate it a little bit more, just a tiny little shrug. The rhomboid major, the bigger one, helps pull it back. And if you watch my shoulder joint here very gently, it helps pull that shoulder joint back just a little bit. So it helps really lock that into place. And surprisingly, that is actually very important for anything like your chest presses, of course, any bent over rows, that kind of thing. So the exercises we're going to do today is the bent over row. So this works the rhomboids quite a bit. You have the spine straight. Again, it's running across those thoracic vertebrae, so if I'm bent forward like this, it's stretching out the rhomboids. So I keep the spine straight, and then I'm going to pinch the shoulder blades back first thing. So those are engaged, and then when my elbows lift up with the bend of the arms, it helps squeeze them even more. And then when I lower down, I want to make sure that they are slowly lowering down the weights, not just drop. So they help control the descent as well and keep that shoulder blade nice and stable. Another thing that these muscles do is that even when they get stretched out, for example, when the arm starts to raise up, those rhomboids actually stretch out a little bit, but especially up here at the top and even on the way down, they help slow the descent of the arm. So these shoulder blades are the rhomboids are extremely important in stabilizing the shoulder blades themselves, which directly impacts the shoulder joint. So if you are working with any shoulder pain, getting these rhomboids checked out and anything that's connected to the shoulder blade itself will help you out big time. So that's our muscle of the day. Again, we have the bent over row today that really explores that. My newer exercises, the AYA and then the Blackburns, you know, those really help engage them, make sure they're stabilizing throughout the whole motion. So if you keep watching this workout today, you'll see the rhomboids in action, and you'll be able to do these things yourself too. So you can do this with no weight, especially the AYA and the Blackburns. No weight is required. Bent over row, you might need some, but you'll be able to experience the power of the rhomboids yourself. Alrighty. So speaking of this workout, I'm going to go ahead and start my warm up. Okay, back in chat mode. Got my highlight reel there for the day. I got a haircut yesterday, so that way my hair isn't totally like a total curtain over my eyes. It's a little bit more controllable now. Still getting used to short hair. I'm not used to short hair, but I have been enjoying it. I've been enjoying the shorter showers for sure. Oh my gosh, I gotta work on this mod. Rusted helmet, it modded you again. I know. Swipe to allow or deny. Okay, that's deny. I want to allow that because that is silly. There we go. Where did it go? What weight does your dumbbell set go to? All right, so that's the comment that this mod screened. It's silly. So we have up to 50 pounds. That's camera angles. There we go. So 50 pounds there at the very bottom. That's as high as we've got here. So far. With the gym we're building, we're definitely going to go up to 100 at least. And the chiropractor that we go see, he asked if we could get 130-pound dumbbells, which I've never seen before in my life, but they do make them. And now I'm slightly terrified of him. But yeah, so that's as high as we go is 50. My husband honestly probably needs higher for some things. Yeah, that's as high as we go. So do you have a dumbbell set, rusted helmet? Is there something that you work with in particular? I'm going to roll out, my shoulder caps. They're not as bad today, so that's good. Man, there's some tension in there though. I do need to roll these out more often because I think that might be part of some of my tension. Also into the biceps as well. I think my right bicep tendon, at least, is pretty tight. Needs some TLC. So your weights go up to 50 as well? Yeah, sweet. Yeah, so do you work out at home? Do you have like a home gym? I think you maybe mentioned that before. Ow. There's another spot there. Ooh. Yeah, you have a home gym. Very nice. What kind of workouts do you do? How often do you work out? Onto the shoulder blade. We'll talk about the rotator cuff muscles too one time. Ow, for our muscle of the day. We'll see if we want to cram them into one or do one at a time. Might be better to do one at a time. That way to bring more awareness. There's a lot of shoulder injuries that have to do with the rotator cuff muscle. Excuse me, but their doctors never differentiate between them. So whenever I get clients that have their shoulders worked on, they don't know which one was actually repaired, so that's kind of annoying. So I have to figure out the hard way sometimes. Not the hard way, but just the assessment, which you should always do anyway. It just makes it faster. Because sometimes they don't remember. It's like, oh yeah, I had this shoulder surgery. I'm like, oh, that would have been really nice to know at the get-go. Even though I ask it on the form once and then verbally twice. And then sometimes things just pop up in the assessment, and that's okay. All right. So I'm actually starting to roll out the rhomboids here a little bit. So starting to hit more of the minor. These tend to be really tight too, which can lead to some back tightness. So if you're feeling especially pain in between the shoulder blades, there's a pretty good chance it's those rhomboids that are causing the most problems. These have gotten significantly better over time since I've been rolling with this lacrosse ball, because all this in here was just lit up the first time I ever put a lacrosse ball in these things. But it is so much better now. That's good. I'm going to go ahead and hit this left side since I'm here. Yeah, it's not as bad. My left side's been giving me more trouble lately. Still haven't really found the cause of that. Still pretty confused of why that may be. But yeah, this isn't too bad though, thankfully. Okay, let's see. Oh. Usually work out 5 days a week with weightlifting and cardio. Nice. Usually do push-pull split. Mow the lawn during the summer. Yeah, mowing the lawn is legit a workout, especially if you have a push mower that doesn't have like the power, like the propulsion with it. My grandparents have one of those. It makes it easier for them for sure. But yeah, if you don't have that, then it's a doozy, especially if you have hills. That's a lot of arm work there too, and leg. Ooh. All right, let's get to this shoulder cap. So 5 days a week, that's awesome. That's really, really good. And it looks like sounds like you have the everything pretty well covered. You got the weightlifting, you got the cardio aspect. Do you do any kind of like stretching or mobility work, like whether what I'm doing now, or yoga, or just stretches at the end of the workout? Do you do any of that, Rusted Helmet? Sorry, I'm facing away from you, asking you that question. Apparently some of that stuff needs to be loosened up. My neck's finally popping today. Yay. That left shoulder is actually okay. Sweet. I'm going to switch to the softball here. I'm going to take this mic off. I'll still be talking to you guys. I have a tendency to roll on top of it. So I'm going to take this softball. I'm going to place it on my chest. Again, we talked about the pecs last week. They kind of tuck under the collarbone here and connect into the upper arm. And of course, that seashell-shaped muscle, connects into the sternum, connects down into the sternum, and it crosses across the arm into the upper arm pretty far down. Stretch before your workout with either resistance bands or foam roller. Perfect. Yes. That's interesting. You use the resistance bands for stretching. That can be intense, especially for anything with shoulders. I need to get, are they those like ginormous rubber band versions where it looks like a huge rubber band, but it can have some pretty good resistance to it? Because those things are fantastic for stretching. They kind of do the stretch for you, but that doesn't mean it's easy. I need to get a better set of those. I only have one, and I'm scared to use it because I had a second one of the same brand, and it snapped, and it was supposed to be an extra heavy one, and I wasn't putting that much strain on it either. So I need to find a more reputable brand for that stuff. So I'm just rolling out these chest muscles. See if there's any adhesions. It's closer to the armpits, what I kind of been feeling a lot lately. We also have the pec minor, which is under the pec major, if you remember that from last week. It's a smaller muscle, but connects directly to the shoulder blade. A tiny little bony process and connects to your ribs, it can really impact your posture for sure. So being able to lengthen those out can help you have a more upright posture. I'm going to switch to the other side here. I'm turning the head away from the side that I'm rolling as well. That helps stretch out that whole muscle complex a little bit more. Kind of tugging on the fascia a little bit. Surprisingly, this left side is feeling okay so far. Yeah, it's still kind of the same area in that front of the armpit. I just realized I'm just doing a little stream of consciousness. I'm just talking. Just because I have tightness in this area doesn't mean that you're going to have tightness in this area. But it's good to explore for yourself. So I got a spot there. I'm going to let it sit for a little bit. Feel it lengthen out. I'm going to raise that elbow up to stretch out that pec minor a little bit more. Good deal. All right. I've already done a lot of joint mobility today with my clients, so I won't do a whole lot. I'll demonstrate what I would do if I hadn't been working with clients a lot today. Ooh. I have to find this paper my doctor gave me for your lower back pain. Ooh, some like exercises you can do for that. You have a rubber band and cable version of resistance bands. Nice. Good. Yeah, that's really nice to have both. They're just such useful tools, those cables and resistance bands. Take this camera angle down a little bit. So you have some lower back pain, Rusted Helmet? You've been struggling with that for a while? All right. Let's do that camera angle. I'm going to take a little sip of water. I was going to show you guys some... I'm going to show you some joint mobility things for the upper body. My bad. Oh, we got a raid going on. Woohoo! All right. Let's see, you have minor low back injury from deadlifting. Ooh, fun. But everything's better now. Good. You still have flare-ups. All right. Welcome to the party, y'all, with that raid. I'm still figuring out Twitch things. I'm still very new I don't know what this happens with the raid, but thanks for being here. So we've got shoulder blade rolls is what I like to, or shoulder rolls for short. I love to do these as an upper body warm up or just throughout the day if you feel like you've been sitting for long periods of time, especially hunched over. But you're gonna turn the thumbs in, turn the whole upper arm in, even the back is curved a little bit. So shoulder blades are pulling away from one another, so those rhomboids are stretched out. I'm going to shrug up to the ears. I'm going to start to spin the arms backwards as I pinch the shoulder blades back, engaging the rhomboids, the muscle of the day. I'm lifting the chest up, so I even have this little bit of back bend in here as well, and then I can roll gently forward again. So this one is not fast at all. You just take your time. Oh, but that back right here just feels so good, especially if you've been doing a lot of bent over work. I've been standing a lot today, so it isn't as angry as usual, but if I'm doing dishes or dishwashers out, so washing dishes by hand a lot here lately, but that gets me cooking, you know, just being kind of hunched over a counter. Man, this feels amazing afterwards. Rusted Helmet talking about that roller, that helps, yeah, especially the thoracic spine. That's something you can do for sure. Actually, I'll go grab that. Alrighty. Yeah, thanks for the compliment. Yeah, so the space, I think it's roughly 24 by 24. So I've got the squat rack over there. It can fold into the wall. Of course, there's the door where my clients come in, the sign-in sheet and all that. Shoes, and then they can sit here in this corner. Of course, we use that bench for other things. And then just some more equipment around there. A blank wall, fantastic piece of equipment, if you want to call it that. And then, of course, our dumbbells and everything. But just a lot of floor space as well. So thank you. Thanks for the compliment. This is my favorite room in the house. It is a lovely place to be. I can have windows open. My cat's in the window, so she enjoys it out here as well. Yeah. Hey, retired, rehired. Welcome back. The shoulder roll is great when you're glued to the desk at work. Yes, feels amazing, right? I love it so much. It's a good one. Even after I wake up, sometimes like I get that back, pinch back, and then I go pop, pop, pop. Sometimes I get like a little free chiropractor adjustment too. Also for the upper back, I tend to, oh, thanks for the follow. Thank you very much. I can do some side bends as well. So that's something that helps loosen up that thoracic spine, of course, the obliques and the low back. And you can even, I know I'm going to hunch down a little bit so you can see, but I can reach that arm overhead, and that can help lengthen that lat as well. Thank you much for the follow. Sorry, that was right in the middle of the instruction, but that feels really good. Again, first thing when I wake up, these are literally one of the first things I do, and that arm reach overhead really helps out, especially if you've been stuck in one position for a long time, either standing or sitting. It just feels really good. Alrighty, so I've got, yeah, that's probably fine right there. So I've got chest flies up today. I surprised myself last week. I did 25s. So I'm gonna start there and we'll see what happens. Let's see, other upper body joint mobility. Of course, there's the classic, you know, the Michael Phelps, you know, which does feel pretty good. If the shoulders are really feeling it, you can do something called pot stirrers. You can do this with or without a weight, but just kind of prop yourself on one arm or one leg, and then just keep this arm loose, but use your hips to kind of shift it in a circle. So I'm not taking my arm strength in a circle, but I'm just using the momentum of the hips. Just kind of drag in a circle. You can feel a little bit better when you hold just a very light weight, like maybe 3 pounds. And then you can do that, of course, on both sides in both directions. That's one that can really help lengthen those out. I should do this before the workout, but a hang is really good if you just have like a pull-up bar and just grab it and just let yourself hang down from that, and then you have the shoulders up to the ears and everything. Just let all that whole complex stretch out. That's great. Before workout, there's not many stretches I would do before workout, especially like static stretching, but sometimes I do that one because sometimes the shoulders are so bound up. All right, so chest flies. So the rhomboids are involved with this, our muscle of the day, even though it is the chest muscles, the pecs, that are working the most here. The rhomboids actually help stabilize the shoulder blades quite a bit. Woo. All right, actually I should do this. See if I can demonstrate this well here. So of course I got the head on the bench, and this is something that I need to keep myself accountable with as well. I have the shoulder blades actually pinned under me, so I'm gonna pinch my shoulder blades back and let my body weight help keep them down. Now while I'm doing this chest fly, the tendency is sometimes when the arms come in, watch my shoulders though, don't watch my hands, but watch my shoulder blades, they start to round the back a little bit. My spine is still straight because it's got the bench to help out, but the shoulder blades help pull forward. That's what I do not want to do. Those rhomboids are stretched out. So I'm going to keep the shoulder blades pinned against the bench. Even though the arms are coming in, I'm still squeezing the chest muscles because, again, the pecs are connected, the pec major, I should say, is connected to the sternum, to the upper arm, not the shoulder blade, except for the pec minor. It is working a little bit here, but I don't want it to work so that it's pulling the shoulder blade up. That's going to cause you some shoulder pain. So rhomboids actually stay pinned down, or the shoulder blades stay pinned down using those rhomboid muscles as those pec minor starts to pull in and contract. So that's the goal with this fly here. I'm gonna shoot for 12. We'll see what happens though. Did I do 25? Now I'm second guessing myself, because these feel heavy today. We'll see what happens. All right, shoulder blades pinned down. The weight of the dumbbells helps that feeling as well. I'm gonna point the elbows out and nail down and pull back in. I don't think I did 25s, I may have done 20. Whoops. Definitely not doing 12 with this one. see if I can get 2 more for 8 and I'll be happy with that. Whew. All right, there's 8. Definitely didn't remember that right. Whew. 20 pounds. Faux show. Maybe I was thinking of the rows. I went up to 30s last week with that one. All right. Whew. We're missing Clemens today. All right. Not Anton. Rusted Helmet, are you still here? Or did you go off to work yet? My hair's still doing weird things. Ooh, I haven't taken a shower yet since I got it cut. So we'll see how it goes after that. You are. Cool. You got about 15 minutes. All right. Is there any questions I can answer for you before you go, or any cool shows you've watched lately that I should check out? Oh boy, that woke up my pec muscles. They're awake now. That feels pretty good. Here we go. All right. Round 2. Now we're going to see how 12 feels with these. Hopefully I didn't fatigue them too much. Also, I think I had my feet down. Squeaky bench. All right. Shoulder blades pinned down. Here we go. Here's 10. Ooh, 2 more. Fun. All right. 20s are definitely better. Good to know I can do 25s though if I need to. All right, now at the moment, you're watching Dragon Ball and Daima to the Hero Season 8 dub comes out. Yeah, I'm waiting on that one too, my hero. So you're just waiting for the dub. So are you a sub watcher at all, or you just watch everything dub? I know people have like, There are times where like, if I'm doing things, especially like cooking or cleaning, I like the dub because I don't have to be watching the entire time, but the translation seems to be better when it's subbed. But I don't know. It's very rare I get to the dub because of like English voice actors. Nice, yeah. I haven't watched any of the Dragon Ball Daima. It's popped up on my Crunchyroll, but I haven't watched it yet. Now that my brother's back in town, we might watch that together. That was a big childhood thing for us, was Dragon Ball Z. We had like the PlayStation 2 games and everything. They're pretty fun, those fighting games. Yeah. Whew. Have you watched the Rising of the Shield Hero at all? Are you into that show at all? The Rise of the Shield Hero. I think I said Rising. Rise of the Shield Hero. Whew. I've been really into that one. I'm on season 3. I think the 4th season just came out not too long ago. All right, one more set here. All right. Shoulder blades pinned down. Okay. Here we go. 7. Let's see if we can get 2 more. All right. Yeah, those 25s killed me that first set. But that's done. All right. Shake it out a little bit. I'm going to do 30s for the bent over row next. Start there anyway. See how it feels after that. Yeah. Okay, let's see. You've heard it yet? I have to watch it. Yeah, it's pretty good. I've been enjoying it. It's a pretty decent story. I'm there for the story. Red Ranger. Ooh, I haven't heard that one. I'll check that one out. Ha! Cool. Oh, yeah, I'll have to check that one out. I like how those ones that make fun, I think I can screenshot it. Cool. Yeah, so I'll check that one out. I think, have you ever watched One Punch Man? That's kind of like, it's good. It's kind of a little bit of a satire too. That's, I think the 3rd season's coming out here pretty soon of that one. Ooh. Shake it out. All right, bent over row is what I've got next. I'm going to turn this camera angle over a little bit. So this one is working the muscle of the day. Bring it a little closer too. So the rhomboids, they're just kind of fun to say. Sorry, I keep saying it. I think this is just a fun word to say. Rhomboids. So you got the wide stance, bent knees, oh my gosh, straight spine. It's the end of the day for sure. I'm going to have my weights going to pinch shoulder blades back. That's going to engage those rhomboids. I'm going to lift those elbows up and keep the hands closer to the hips. That will engage them even more. Reason why I say hands closer to the hips, because sometimes when they come up to the shoulders tend to shrug and those traps get too much work. So pulling down to the hips as the elbows go higher helps engage those mid-back to lower muscles better. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I understand. Yeah, the main theme is great. Yeah, it's just a silly show. I don't even remember how season 2 left off. It's been so long. Yeah, it's just a mix of serious and silly. But I can understand how, like, because it is a satire, but then as the seasons have gone on, it's not. Like, it's becoming less and less of it. It's kind of becoming its own thing. All right. Here we go. What's your favorite anime of all time, Rusted Helmet? Woo-hoo-hoo. I think 30s are still good for me today. All right, shake it out. DBZ, oh yeah, classic, right? Oh, you do? Oh, that's right, yeah, you mentioned the Gundam models, was it last week or the week before? I feel like those would be so fun to make. Oh yeah, no, I missed that comment up there. Watched Gundam Wing. Yeah, growing up. Gundam Wing is a classic too. Yeah, DBZ, I feel like is such a staple. Whew. So yeah, that was a big one for us growing up. My older brother and I really liked anime. My younger brother never really got into it. So that was like a bonding thing for my older brother and I. We just watched a lot of that. And have you seen I don't even know if it's on YouTube anymore. I think it still is. The Dragon Ball Z Abridged series. that someone has made. And so they like take all the clips, but then they put like different voices and it's kind of a different plot over it. Ooh. Nice. Cool, cool, cool. Yeah, I need to go through all the Gundams again. Yeah, have you watched them? Because it is hilarious. Again, just stupid, but still pretty hilarious. A little vulgar, I should say. Not a big fan of those parts, but everything else is pretty funny. Because it's another one of those like satire kind of things. All the things that you think about during DBZ, they kind of call out. Pretty funny. All right, round 2. Forgot who made them. Whew, yeah, 30s are still good. One more of those. This also works the low back muscles, stabilizing a lot at that angle as well. Yeah, you just watch reactions here or there. Nice. Yeah, I'll have to explore Gundam again. It's been a long time since I've dug into any of those. Whew. Those were always, I love the game for PlayStation. I forgot the name of it, obviously the Gundam, but yeah, I don't remember the name, but that was a really fun game. Really enjoyed that a lot. Yeah. One more set of these rows, and then let's see, I'm doing the overhead tricep extension next. I'm gonna sit down for that. Hammer curls on one foot, following that. And then we will dig into the very tough, but not very fun to watch exercises. They're just kind of boring, but it's really good work. The AYA and the Blackburns. I'm gonna try reps for the Blackburn today instead of holding it. I held it last time, which was fine, very challenging. I'm gonna play around with the reps again today. All right, well, thanks for hanging out with me, Rusted Helmet. Hope you have a great day at work. Yay! And thanks for the suggestions. I'm gonna try, was it Red Ranger? Is that what was out? I'm gonna go check that out. That sounds good. All right, you have a good one. Bye. I'm gonna do this last set of rows. It's fun hanging out with you guys, getting to know you through week to week. It's pretty cool. All right, last round here. I'm gonna check my form a little bit. Oh, man. Whew. All right. That one is done. Phew. Shake out the grip. I'm going to adjust this a little bit. All right. Let's go to the side a little bit. I think that'll capture pretty much everything there. All right. So I'm going to grab a sip. Whew. Overhead tricep extensions. So as far as the target muscle goes today, since it's overhead, it's actually stretched out a little bit, but that doesn't mean that it's inactive. It's actually doing a supporting role. Even though it's lengthened out, those muscles are still contracting isometrically to keep that shoulder blade still, so that way it's not being all wonky and going everywhere. So it will still be stabilizing quite a bit. Let's see, I used 8s last time. I don't know, we'll try 10. Not feeling super confident about it. We'll give it a shot. Try it anyway. If it's not good, it's not good. That's all right, we just go back down. I'm kind of testing the body, seeing how it feels. I got my squeaky bench. And I'm gonna tilt that screen up just a little bit. It's closer than I thought. I like that it's closer and I'm not just like super far away. Let's try that. Okay. I don't know who else is hanging out with me, but thanks for hanging out with me. I appreciate it. Is it still, oh, hey, it's JP, you're still here. Okay. I thought you were going to miss out today for some reason. I hadn't heard from you yet. I'm glad you're alive. But I understand if, you know, life gets in the way. You got a family, so they come first, right? That's A-okay. All right. So tricep overhead extensions. Trying out 10s. Want to make sure my abs are still engaged. Make sure my low back doesn't take over. Ooh, 12. All right. I did a lot better at that than I expected. Cool, cool, cool. That's exciting. Yay. Day with challenges. That's A-okay. You're here. That's the important thing. And taking on the challenges, right? Making sure they're taken care of. It just seems to be the theme of the week. I don't know about you. It just seems like this week has just been a little odd. For us, first we have the rain, which means my husband gets rained out of work. So he's been home more often this week, which is fine, but it does make my day look a little different. Where I'm used to just going like client after client after client. You know, I'm seeing him between and we're talking. Sometimes we get caught in a conversation. It's a good one. I was like, oh shoot, I gotta go, you know. I tend to rush a little bit. But he's been thrown off as well because of that. You know, that's not his routine either. And he's been facing, like he's been doing stuff at home that has needed to be done. But he's run into challenges with that, so he's a little frustrated. Ugh. But are you still working out? Or are you done for the day? All right. Whew. Round 2. Two more. All right. Woohoo! That's getting stronger. Very exciting. All right. Hey. Still drinking? Yeah. I know, drinking from a cup for some reason is still so hard. Yeah, that is hilarious. I spill my drinks more often than I would like. I do less. See, okay, cool, cool, cool. Yeah, I did get a haircut. I'm still adjusting to it, but like it's still over my eye, but it's cut in a way where it's like it'll actually stay out for the most part. It was driving me nuts. And then over here, like she was saying, like this part needs to grow out a little bit more. So it needs to tuck behind my ear. So that's got to do stuff. And I haven't taken a shower. She always does it a little differently than how I style it. So I haven't really seen it, how it looks, how I typically do it, which is basically just I take a shower and let it air dry because I'm lazy. But thank you. I appreciate that. Let's see. Satan Enterprise. I think this is the first time you've hopped on here as far as I've seen. So what's going on with you? Are you a workout person? Are you working out right now? We like to keep each other accountable on here. Your comment's still cracking me up. Still haven't yet to drink from it. Yeah. Even that giant water bottle that I have, I spilled that. I mean, the mouth hole is small. Like, I shouldn't be spilling anything, but it happens all the time. I don't understand. I think I just don't pay attention. I think that's the big thing. There's something going on with that right shoulder, but we'll see. 7, 8, 9. There's 10. Let's see if I can get 2 more. 11. Hopefully without that right elbow kicking out too much. Ooh, maybe not. There's 12, but it was sloppy. Okay. Probably should have stopped at 11. All right, but moved up in weight, so that's exciting. Yay. Alrighty. Satan Enterprise, are you here still? Are you hanging out with us still? There's 2 viewers, at least on my end it says 2 viewers. So I'd like to chat with you guys, get to know you all. It's fun. I don't get the chance to meet many new people here in this tiny town. There's not much opportunity. So whenever I can, I like to just get to know people. You know, just different stories, different ways of thinking. Broaden our horizons. We get to learn from each other, right? Here's that other water bottle that I keep spilling all the time too. Oh, you're here. Okay, sorry about the ads. Yeah. So I don't know if, again, I haven't been on Twitch a whole lot. If you are not a Twitch affiliate, I don't know if they stream ads on there. So I don't know if it's like ever since I became a Twitch affiliate, now they start putting ads on there, just as a little extra incentive to subscribe, because my subscribers don't have ads, because that's annoying, right? I do have to say, Twitch has had the best ads of any of the things out there, in my opinion, just because, I need a blanket. I guess it's just more of like the things that I like, whereas like other streaming services, it's like, here's this medication you could take, and I don't need anything like that at all. It's just kind of boring, and I don't pay attention, but I tend to pay attention to these ads. I don't know. That's just me. But I'm glad you're back. So, Satan Enterprise, let's see. So tell us something about yourself. Like Russet Hellman and I earlier were talking about anime. Are you into anime or different shows like that? Or are you more of a gamer? What's your big thing? I'm going to take this mic off. This will be really muffled. So for this one, we're doing oh no, I totally skipped one. I'm going to put this back on. I got to do bicep curls. Not bicep curls, hammer curls. Totally forgot about that. I'm just so excited about these AYAs. I'm not excited at all, actually. Those are really hard. More of a gamer. Sweet. What kind of games do you like? What's your favorite? Or actually, what are you playing now? What's the main thing you're playing now? Let's see. 15 pounds. I'm going to do one-legged ones too. So I'm going to stand on one foot for a set. And then second set, I'll stay on the other foot. Third set, I'll split them up. So work on a little balance challenge as well. I'm going to start standing on this right foot. Okay, here we go. This is my 3rd week of doing 15s. 4, I did 12 the first week, I think. And there's 12. I seem to be plateauing here at this 15. I mean, not plateauing, it's still hard. But but still working through it. Shooter, looter type. So Destiny 2, Borderlands. I've yet to play Borderlands. My husband and I have been talking about it. Destiny 2. Oh yeah, we do have a muscle today. Rhomboids is what we're going for. So being able to pinch the shoulder blades back. I'm going to cut the highlight reel too after this stream. But they help pinch the shoulder blades back, a little tiny elevation, but also like pulling the shoulder joint backwards a little bit. So it's, the shoulder blades, it helps stabilize the shoulder blades for movement, for example. Whew, yeah, so I'll do a review at the very end too. Destiny 2, I don't know if I've heard that one. Is that one out in space, the Destiny 2 one? I might be thinking of a different one. Second set. These 15-pound dumbbells don't match, I just realized, from 2 different sets. All right, 12 reps. This right arm is feeling it today. Here's 12. Yeah. All right. Here we go. One more set of those. Whew. It's doing all right. Ooh, switch. Okay, you're on planets. Okay. Oh, my brain was in the right spot with that one. I'll go check that one out though. Here's 26 HD 26 is back. All right. Yeah, so rhomboids are interesting. It's kind of boring in a way. Yeah, for women. So those are part of the rhomboids that pull back. They're actually underneath the trap muscles, the trapezius. That'll definitely be a muscle today. I think I'm going to do that maybe next week. I think probably next week is I'm due to switch things up. So I will do the traps as well. So the traps are, typically thought of like for shrugs, but they do all sorts of stuff. So the AYA and the Blackburns really go into the lower trap. But yeah, the rhomboids are underneath those even. So the traps are probably what you're thinking of. It's like, it kind of winds out at the T and then it kind of goes down the middle of the back. Those are the traps. Also very pretty. Let's see. I apologize. I think that's German. Okay, you guys can talk. Unfortunately, I don't know German. You guys go for it. Thoracic outlet syndrome. Ooh. Remove a rib in a muscle. Holy cow, dude. Your right shoulder froze. Oh my gosh. Oh, I'm so sorry. That is rough. Do you do any like physical therapy? Did they put you through any physical therapy after your surgery or anything? I'm so sorry that happened to you. I mean, I've had ribs that are like sublux, like not quite out, but like out enough. But to remove a rib entirely, that is a whole other level. So I'm so sorry that you've gone through that. And thoracic outlet syndrome. I'm actually not very familiar with that. Let me see if I can screenshot that. Are you guys still there? I totally messed up the stream. So thoracic outlet syndrome. Okay, yeah, you're still there. Clemens, Satan Enterprise, are you guys still there? Oh no, what have I done? That's what I get for screenshotting things, trying to screenshot things. Oh, here we go. No therapy on removing your first rib. Did with the frozen shoulder, help get mobility back. Ankle-wise is still painful. Yeah, shoot. Those frozen shoulders are no joke. They're awful. So I'm glad you did some physical therapy, or but you did with the physical therapy. Yeah, I froze and now I'm back. I tried to screenshot it, which you have to press the power button and one of the volume buttons. And I guess I didn't get the volume button in time, so I actually turned my screen off. So not gonna do that again, I guess. I'll have to find a different way. Or I should just bring a pad of paper, which is I did last time. Am I moving again? Am I still frozen, or am I active? I said, no, sorry. Didn't mean to scare you guys. Yeah, I am back. All right, I got one more set of these to go. Let's see. I can tell it's definitely the end of the day for me because my brain isn't quite there. Satan Enterprise, are you still doing the physical therapy exercises? Oh, you just commented something. Okay, I'll go and read that after this set. I'm gonna do 6 on one side, 6 on the other. I'm gonna do 7. Just see what happens. I'll do 7 on this side too. Last one. I'm glad it was the last one. Okay, there we go. All right, I do believe all my weighted exercises are done. Ugh. Arms are jello. Okay, it's thoracic outlet syndrome. Group of conditions which there's pressure on blood vessels or nerves, in the area between the neck and the shoulder. The space is known as the thoracic outlet. Pressure of the blood vessels and nerves can cause shoulder and neck pain. It also causes numbness in the fingers. Oh boy. That pulley system, how you stretch out your shoulder. Yeah, and this helped a lot. Good. Yeah, just kind of like decompressing those areas. Yeah, I'll have to do some more research on that. If, I don't know if you're following me yet or not, but let me go find a piece of paper. I'm gonna write that down. Granted, I'm sure you've done your due diligence and have done a plethora of researching and everything as well. I'm gonna write this down right now. I'm gonna do some research. And I'm glad you got some exercises that are helping you out for sure. Thoracic outlet syndrome. Yeah, that sounds rough. And when something gets compressed, being able to obviously, alleviate that pressure is a big deal. But when it's up there like that, let's see, between the neck and the shoulder, like that space there is so challenging. It's not like your leg, if you have some compression in that area, you just kind of like pull the leg out. It's simple as that. But with the shoulder, because it's just kind of like 1 or 2 joints in that area. With the shoulder, of course you have the shoulder joint, but then you have all these other joints in between that you don't really think about until something goes wrong up there. So that compression, I'm sure, is not fun. I'm so sorry that you're going through that. Whew. But having that pulley system, that's really cool. You got something that helps you out with that. Good. All right. 20 years ago, I was still having... Wow. Good. Oh, wow. So removing the rib actually helped out just to kind of create that space, I guess. Is that right? Being able to create some blood flow again. Man, it's so weird to think that removing parts of your body can help, but it can. I'm so glad that you've gotten some relief with that. That's intense, man. All right. Yeah. Yes, yeah. Sorry, I had to go read that little comment. All right, so next up I have hey, thanks for the follow. Woohoo! Yay. So next up I have the AYAs. Got the all major arm ones done. So of course, the chest, the back, the biceps, the triceps. Now, this is going to be working some of the posterior shoulder and some of the muscles in the thoracic spine, so the traps a little bit, especially mid-trap, a little bit upper, and then you also have the rhomboids, the muscle of the day, so being able to pull those shoulder blades, I think my hands are the shoulder blades, and in between is the spine, being able to pull those shoulder blades into the spine, and so it's hugging on the chest, but they're actually going to be lengthening out a little bit as they take the arms overhead. So even though they're lengthened out, again, they're going to be stabilizing big time, even though they're in that lengthened out position. So, excuse me. Oh wait, I'm not near the mic. Hopefully you guys heard that. So with this one, I'm going to be lying face down. I've got my forehead on this blanket, so my nose isn't smushed into the floor. The AYA is where I have the palms face down. Might adjust the camera a little bit. That might be okay. So I got the palms face down. I'm pulling the shoulder blades back. And then I'm going to reach the hands overhead into the Y position, and then I'll transition back to the A, hence the AYA. It's just the shape that your arms make to make the letter. So last time the first time I did 8 reps, that was rough. And then the next week I did 10. It was still rough, but it was improvement. So I'm gonna shoot for 12 today, see what happens. These are tough for me. These are pretty tough with my shoulders. All right, we're gonna do our best though. Here we go. That was 8. That's 10. And that's 12. Ugh. Yeah, those are very fun. Whew, look at these comments. All right, here we go. Here we go. All right. Oh, yeah. Canceled. Oh, yeah. You could be singing that song. I still have to figure out the music on Twitch. Like, can I have background music? Or will I be flagged for that? I don't know. If we had mics, I'd make you guys sing. I don't think you want me to sing. There, I got those 2 sips down. All right. That wasn't bad. I mean, it's still hard. I got 12. A little shaky at the end. It's kind of what you want. So I'm pretty happy about that. All right. Whew. Do a second round here. I'm a little magnet. The mic stays put. Let's do round number 2 of these AYAs. All right. Here we go. Here's 10. Here's 12. Oh my gosh. Ah, man, those are killer. Ooh, with that one, I don't necessarily want a Superman back. I don't want to work those muscles. For some reason, that makes it harder. Okay. Thank you very much. 26 HD 26. All right, typical exercise, make sure we train those rhomboids. Yes, rows, big deal. Yeah, that's like the number one thing. Pull-ups will get it a little bit. Yeah, especially when you, they'll be more contracted when the arm pulls down, or I guess when your chest is coming up to the bar, and they will be eccentrically working, which means you're going with gravity but with control as those arms extend, which is still important. So yeah, they'll definitely be worked with those. As far as like contracting them, so yeah, those bent over rows, so I did those earlier. I don't think you were quite on yet, but those bent over rows for sure will get them. Anything like a seated row, like especially with cables or a machine, you can have the elbow in close, or sometimes like the elbow up at shoulder height, getting those shoulder blades pinched back and pulling in towards the spine. Those will work them. I like the close grip row the best, just because it feels good for my body. But those high rows, those high elbow rows are really good too. Pen lay rows, which is, I haven't done those a whole lot. So it's like a bent over row, but instead of the elbow being relatively close to the side, it's like just like those high rows, the elbows come up at shoulder height, and those are pretty rough. But all those, yeah, can work those rhomboids. Yeah, so I hope that answers your question. They are kind of simple, but kind of not. And that's kind of just all the back muscles. They're simple, but not. The simple part is that they have one job, and sometimes two, but that part isn't complicated. The complicated part is them working together with the other muscles surrounding them as well. That's, or what they call scapular timing, if you want to look that up, because then it's like, I have to sit down and really think about that, because the shoulder blade will actually, when the arm goes overhead, for example, out to the side, the shoulder blade will actually wing away from the spine and then come back in when the arm comes down. So the muscles that make that whole movement happen, there's like a specific order to them, the timing of them. And that's when it gets complicated with shoulder stuff. It's not so much the individual muscles, it's them working together. They can get a little dicey. So this exercise in particular actually is a good demonstration of that. So they are working together to, one, stabilize the scapula even though they're moving, and then two, making sure that the proper ones are lengthened out, also stabilizing even though they're lengthened out, and just making sure that each one is strong enough so it can do the job that it needs to do instead of the other ones compensating for that. So I've learned a lot about the shoulders, but it is a lot. Like when you really dig into it, it's a lot. It's still really good work. And sometimes I have to catch myself from not overthinking it. Sometimes I tend to do that. Where it's just like, okay, well, this one needs to be firing now, and then this one now, but sometimes I just got to give my body the benefit of the doubt that it knows what to do. And so I just need to not think about it too much. Just like this one, this exercise here. All right, here we go. But I do want to make sure my shoulder blades stay pinched back towards my spine with this one at all times. Here we go. And that's 10. Oh my gosh, I'm so glad that one's done. Ooh. All right, that is AYA, folks, in the books. I'm just going to walk around with the mic because I'm going to be down on the floor again. So, whew, you guys are going to go for a ride here for a second. Sorry, I'm going to lower down this tripod. Satan Enterprise, are you still hanging out with us? Are you still on here? Shows I have 2 viewers. Oh, I wasn't by the mic. So there we go. I don't know if you can hear me okay. Satan Enterprise, are you still hanging out with us? Or did you move along for the day? Whee! All right. Nope, that's too far forward. Here we go. So this one is the Blackburn, so another new one that I've been doing. So this incorporates the arm shapes of L, T, and Y. So it's technically 6 sets. I'm going to do reps this time. I held for time last time. But I'm going to do 30 reps of thumbs pointing up, the L position, thumbs pointing up, T position, thumbs pointing up, Y position. And I think that's actually backwards. I think it's L, Y, T. But I'm going to do that. And then the second set, or really the second set of 3 sets, is palm face down. So I'll do palm face down with L, palm face down with Y, palm face down with T. I'm going to raise the arms off the ground. Again, this is not a Superman kind of thing where I'm not including an extension of the spine. I'm just going to be keeping it as neutral as possible and letting those muscles around the shoulder blade work and do their thing. I was going to set my drinks to the side before I spill them. Not gonna lie, this one's probably not gonna be very fun to watch. Oh, hey, kitty. Maybe Pookie will entertain you all. Everything's better with a cat. Come here. Come here. There we go. You like these blankets. You just want to settle right here? Maybe not. She's a nice little companion. All right, kitty. Ready to do some work? Alrighty. Come here. You hang out? You want to entertain them for me? Because this is a really monotonous exercise. It's really important, but really monotonous. There you go. That's a good kitty. All right, you gonna hang out here? There's your entertainment as a cat. Cats make everything better. All right, so I'm going to do the Y position. Thumbs pointing up. 30 reps. I'm going to exhale every time I lift my elbows off the ground. Oh, and inhale when I bring it back down. All right, here we go. So I got my elbows in a Y position, thumbs pointing up. You stay there, kitty. You're cuter than I am. All right, here we go. And 1, 2, 11. Oh, the cat's gone. Here's halfway, that's 15. And 30. Wow. All right, I'm gonna rest there. Whew. Let's see here. Oh my gosh, I felt that one. All right. Hey, kitty cat. Clement says hi, Pookie. And now she's leaving. She's done. Probably gonna go get a little bite to eat. That's my guess. All right. I'm gonna do a little rest in between each of these sets. So that was the L position. I'm going to do the Y next. I wish that Y was first because that's my least favorite. I can get it over with. Whew.
Upper body day is hard for me, just because it's my weaker set of muscle groups, but especially the shoulder stuff, shoulder blade things. I have to watch my attitude when I talk about it. That way I'm not totally downing myself. That doesn't help at all. So try to use that as an opportunity to meet it as a challenge versus a struggle. That's something that my dad talked about one time. Is it was in the context of relationships, but but challenge versus struggle. And so his thought about that is if it's a challenge, it's something that you're enjoying. It's something that yes, it's hard, but you're willing to take on the work. Versus struggle is like every single step of the way is just a bore, not fun. Of course, it's difficult, but it doesn't have that same kind of ring. It doesn't bring like that passion to you, I guess. So I'm trying to change my attitude about these whys. Leg day is less challenging. Leg day, it's hard. I make it challenging, but it's less mentally challenging for me. Probably just something I'm more familiar with, between track and cross country, a little bit of swimming. Legs have always been my strong suit. So I just tend to gravitate to that more so. But upper body day, it's a struggle. I've liked it more often here lately, just because I like being able to see that progress helps. So like the overhead tricep extensions, doing 10s. For some people, 10s is like nothing. But for me, I'm really excited about that. Or like, what was the AYAs, being able to up it by 2 each week. I'm really pumped about that, but it's hard. Like it's mentally challenging for me. Like I really had to stay with it. Whereas leg day, I'm having fun. And then today is just like, okay, let's take it one day at a time, one exercise, one rep at a time. And especially for these Ys that are next, it is more of a mental challenge than anything. All right, speaking of which, I'm not going to stall anymore. I'm just going to go ahead and get these done. All right, so 30 reps of these. The T's won't be so bad. I actually like those. All right, here we go. But these Y's are pretty rough. There's 10. There's 20. Oh my gosh, that's 30. Good deal, that's done. Oh. All right, a little break here. Then I'll do T's. T's aren't that bad. I really enjoy those. They can actually feel pretty good. All righty here. Whew. Hey, thanks for the encouragement. Clemens, appreciate it. You guys do. Thank you, guys. Oh, one more to go. What about you guys? What is your favorite exercise day? Do you like upper body, lower body? Is there like a particular muscle group that you like to work the most, that you guys feel most confident in? So I like legs. I've been really enjoying deadlifts here lately. I really like those. Blah. All right, got these T's. There it is. 30 sets, not 30 sets, 30 reps of these. 30 sets would be awful. I don't want that. I'm already doing 6 of them. All right, here we go. Got these tees going. Let me know what you guys, what your favorite is. Favorite workout day. All right. Favorite muscle group. That's halfway. Ooh, that's 30. Ugh. So I have to do all that again, this time with the palms face down, which isn't as bad, but it's still pretty rough. Okay, I like the challenge of squats and deadlifts, but enjoy chest press the most as a single exercise. Interesting. You dread lunges the most. Yeah, lunges are just rough. Like, it doesn't matter what variety it is. It's just, lunges are just hard. You got the balance component there. Yeah, big time quads and hamstrings. Ugh. Yeah, they take a lot of mental strength too. So you like chest presses the most. Is there like a certain, variety that you like? Do you like the barbell version, dumbbell version, any particular grip? So like there's the wide grip versus the more narrow. Do you have like a favorite kind of chest press? I've been sticking with more dumbbell lately. Something about it just does not agree with my shoulders with the barbell for some reason. I think because it just kind of locks it in one place. It doesn't have that rotation that it naturally has. All right. Got a little sip of creatine. A little sip of water. I really like the flavor of that creatine, but I'm trying not to let things sit on my teeth for long periods of time. I don't think it's very acidic, but just in case. Mostly my coffee, that's what I'm looking at. I'm trying to be better at, take a sip of coffee, take a sip of water, so that way that acid isn't sitting on my teeth. And I just now realize, I guess that habit is kind of carried over to my creatine now. All right, back to the L's with the palms face down. And the cat is back, so maybe she'll entertain you. Maybe not, probably not. She likes to keep to herself most of the time. All right, there we go. And 2, 3, 30 reps. Here's 20. Whew. Oh boy, that's 30. Whoo, felt the burn. Last few. That's good, that's what you want. I'll do a little rest here. And then I'll do the Ys next. Classic barbell version of chest press. Transfer energy optimally to lifting. Yeah. Oh, excuse me. Creates the pump feeling quite easily. Yeah. So you like the pump then? You're a fan of the pump? So you like the classic barbell. Yeah. I like the feeling of it. I like the feeling of being able to lift heavier with the barbell. And then dumbbells are a little bit more humbling just because like each arm has to like act independently. And then I realize how weak I actually am. I think that's another reason for the upper body day. It's just like, oh no, I'm weaker than I thought. But that's where you want to be, I guess, with lifting, is you always want to stay humble. Whew. But the barbell is very nice in that sense. Of course, it's a lot easier to adjust the weights, like especially if you want to go incrementally up versus dumbbells. It's like, unless you have this, like the in-between ones, which those are kind of hard to find, like between 15 and 20. So like for my bicep curls, I need a 17.5, but I don't have one, and they're kind of hard to find. But that intermediate stage is really nice, which with barbells and the plates and everything is really easy to do. Those 2.5 plates and, of course, the 5-pound plates as well. Really much easier to go up incrementally, which is safer, you know, instead of trying to up at 5 pounds like I did in my chest flies because I didn't remember the number right. I attempted 25 pounds for my chest flies, and I was like, yep, didn't remember that right at all. I got 8 reps instead of the 12 that I was assigned to do. Check out your comment here. Yeah, as long as it's not too painful. Yeah. So pump qualifies. Nice. Yeah. Gotta get the pump, man. All right, these Ys. Palms face down. Make sure the hands are above shoulder height. Hard part for me is keeping those elbows as straight as I can. That's a struggle. But I'm focusing on the elbows lifting off the ground, not just the hands. All right, here we go. That's halfway. Three more. Oh boy. Praise the Lord, those are done. Ys are done. I just got T's to go. All the sleighs. Yeah. There's a mosquito. All right. I got one more. I've got the T's there. Yeah, I kind of wonder the same as well. Actually, he might not be. I don't know. Because I think he contacted me on Instagram as well. Lost my train of thought. T's, and then I've got the scat push-ups. I'm debating on, I might switch those up today. The past 2 times I've done them, I don't think I've done them quite right. I tried a different variety of them, and I don't think it's quite clicking. So I might switch back to the plank up-downs, and I'll still work on the scap push-up part of it, just keeping the floor pushed away from me, which will, again, it's stretching out the rhomboids just a little bit, but again, the rhomboids are still stabilizing as those serratus anterior muscles are contracting big time. Again, that's another shoulder blade stabilizer as well. The serratus anterior, they will get a muscle of the day as well. But we'll talk about the rhomboids. I'll do a little brief review at the end. Oh, but until then, we've got these T's. Last one of these. It's not so bad until like the last 5, and then that burn really sets in. All right. Here we go. And here we go. I had to convince myself. I don't know if you can hear that in my voice. And here we go. And here we go. Here's 15, halfway. Here's 25. And 30. Those are done. Woo. All right, I'm going to put this mic back on. Whew. Man, that mosquito bite got me good. It's already itching. All right, I'm going to move this blanket to the side. I'm going to tilt this camera up a little bit. Plank up downs. Still working on the serratus anterior a little bit. There you go. You cannot follow or. Oh, interesting. Yeah. Okay, good catch there, Clemens. And thank you. Where are you at in your workout? And we have 5 viewers. Thank you guys for hanging out. I really appreciate it. Mosquito got me. It's already itching a lot. I even smacked it. Whew. Got my good old creatine there. So plank up downs is core exercise as well as arms. So core being mostly the abdominals, but the other core muscles are still stabilizing. You have the obliques. As you're going from a high plank to a low plank, there's a little bit of tiny bit of spinal rotation in there as you go from high and then back to low. So making sure that the spine stays stable with that, so the obliques are firing. And then the spinal erectors, so those back muscles as well. We don't talk about them being part of the core. They are, but they are trying not to be lengthened out or not contracting too much to arch the spine, stretch out the rectus abdominis, but lengthening out enough so those abs can take over and take that tension. Completed seated row, finishing hyperextension, nice. Single arm rows and lateral raises, nice. Yeah, so single arm rows, yeah, definitely working the rhomboids. Of course, the seated row. And hyperextensions to a degree as well, especially if you're really focusing on the chest lift and pinching those shoulder blades back. So you got a lot of rhomboids today too. All right, and then lateral raises, always a good one. That's my least favorite exercise of all time is lateral raises. But it's just because, again, I'm weak. I'm weak in that area. And then sometimes I get this, like, I don't know if this happens to you, I get this like involuntary little lip twitch, like it'll, like just one side of my lip will twitch up. And I think that's my least favorite part of lateral raises is like sometimes I just like, and there's nothing I can do about it. It's so weird. But they are tough. They're definitely tough.
All right, plank up downs. Going from a straight arm plank to a forearm plank and back up. This is a great one. I love to do these at the very end of a workout because one, it really burns out the arms after you've been working them a bunch. And two, it puts more emphasis on the core being stable or the abs being stable with this because the arms are already fatigued. And so that means the abs kind of have to help stabilize a little bit more. At least in my opinion, that's why I like to put them at the end. I like those core exercises at the very end. For that reason, they should be working in all of your exercises, technically, if you're doing them right. All right, so I'm going to do 6 on one side and 6 on the other. No, I'm not. I'm going to do 12. No, yeah, I'm going to do 6 on one side, 6 on the other. So this is 2. You can also do this version with the knees on the ground for a less intense version if you need it. That's 5, 6, and to the other side. Rhomboids are stabilizing here. They're not necessarily fully contracted, but they are helping keeping the shoulder blades relatively still. 5, 6. Wow. Doing that little sleepy warrior to stretch out those lats a little bit. Whew. Shake it out. I might do 4 sets of these. I don't know. We'll see. Just get the abs a little bit more work. Be a little bit more strict about the rest times though. Is it only doing that during lat raises? Yeah. I don't know what it's trying to tell me, but yeah, that's the only exercise it will do. Sometimes it will do it in shrugs, but I don't know if that's just like my face trying to help me out. But I think I'm going to start doing shrugs maybe next week. I want those traps to be one of the muscles of the day for sure. But yeah, I don't know what my body's trying to tell me with that one. Still trying to figure that one out. What is that? What is it trying to tell me? What is the body language? All right, round 2. We'll start with the left side this time. That right shoulder. Something going on with that. Here we go. Not quite sure what it is. 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to keep my hips as stable as possible. 4. Try not to let them wibble wobble to the side. 6. To the other side. 1. Last one. Ah. There we go. That's 2 down. We'll do a 3rd set. See how it feels. There he is. All right. Oh, cool. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I have actually never noticed that before. I mean, the legs are working, quads especially. I might have to go back and watch myself on that then. Never noticed that before. I appreciate that. Thank you. Again, leg day is my favorite day. All sorts of things you can do with leg day. You can for upper body too. Not say you can't, but I don't know. I guess with the leg day you get all the jumpy, fun, flashy things. And of course with push-ups, you have the jumping push-ups and the clapping push-ups and all that. And probably because my upper body is not as strong as my lower body, I don't do those as often. All right. Oh, it's time for another set. Round 3. Here we go. Well, thank you. I appreciate that very much, guys. Makes me feel good. I'm doing something worthwhile. My work is showing, I guess I should say. It's all worthwhile. Even if it doesn't show, Still need to get the strength. With it to the end of the day. That's 6. Switching sides. At the end of the day, whenever I'm old and gray, I'm gonna care more about strength anyway. Last one. That's 6. All right. I think I can do one more set of those. Let's do a 4th. Then I'll do some stretching. Call it a day. Oh. All right. I don't know if you guys have ever noticed this with your workouts. It's like holding gray and same lower body. Yeah, I'll go for that. The ripped grandma with massive legs. Never skip leg day. Be like 90 with like huge quads. That'd be hilarious. Well, I hope I do. I hope I do. There is a lot can happen in life that you don't expect. That's for sure. There was one year, I think it was like 2 years ago, in a span of like 5 months, like 4 people in our circle, like close circle died. That was really weird. Like 2 of them were older, so like they were in their 80s. You still sad, but you expect that. And then 2 of them were younger and like our age group, and that was what was scary. One of them was actually like 21, and she got in a car wreck, and her son survived, thankfully, but she didn't make it. So that was really sad. And then the other one was in his 30s, and so which is where we're at. And it was just some heart defect that he had, and just done, you know. So it was just a really big, sobering few months of just like, you really don't know when you're gonna go. But another client of mine, I really like this, that she said there's like longevity, you know, like there's all about the signs of longevity and all that stuff, which is really cool to deep dive into. But she made this really good distinction of like, she's not concerned about working out for lifespan, but she's, try to celebrate life daily. Exactly, yes. So she was saying, I'm not worried about lifespan. She's in her 70s, by the way. Worked with her today. Not concerned about lifespan, but more concerned about health span. And then that change in thinking is really different. So like, again, we don't know how much time we have left on this earth. You don't know when you're gonna go. Ideally, you're gonna live a long time, right? But you don't know, because accidents happen and things that you don't know are going on sometimes just happen. And so that idea of health span, how healthy can you be on the day-to-day, so that way you can enjoy the life to the fullest without having to worry about as many physical maladies and things like that. Again, even then, things can pop up. Sometimes you get a rib popped out of place, which is what happened to me, and it was on my right side. Now my left side's dealing with it. I don't know what's going on with all that, but you just try to deal with those things as best as you possibly can, and you have a better chance if you stay moving at some sort of capacity than not at all. So that's a big part of my job, and something that I do is, and that's why education is so important for me, to talk about these things and educate you all, so that way you are understanding your own body better, so that way you can move throughout your day better, and just in general just enjoy life a little bit more, even if it's literally walking up the steps without getting winded. Like even just the little things like that can go a long way. That's my big spiel on that today. I guess there's my rant for the day. But health span versus long span. Didn't mean to make it dark, guys. Sorry. I guess that's where my brain lives most of the time. I don't know why. But let's go to the deep nitty-gritty things immediately. Let's not do small talk. I'm kidding. I need to be better at small talk. All right, let's do one more set of these things, and then I'll be more lighthearted. Here we go. I think I get more philosophical when I work out too. I think I just get more blood flow to my brain. And it's like, let's find out all the mysteries of life. Let's just solve them right now. I don't know why I get that conceited. One more. Wow. All right. Whew, those are done. Happy day. Whew. Good deal. Philosophical Fitsbo queens are rare nowadays. I hope it's a good thing. Sorry, you guys are going for a ride again. I'm going to be standing for the majority of these stretches. There we go. Whew. That's what I like talking about the most. I think because a lot of social media and everything nowadays is just so shallow. And everything's just like clickbaity. They just want your attention just for the quick click, just so they can get attention, so that people can give them their money. And I'm not really about that life. I like to just sit on a topic for a while, really figure it out, and then go from there. And if it's something worthwhile teaching that I feel like is beneficial for others, and I feel confident in it, then I can teach it to others. We're gonna do a chest stretch here. I'm gonna do 3 of them today because they all feel good. But this is a bent arm, so I have the hand, forearm, and elbow posted up on the pole here. I'm gonna step a foot forward, and I'm gonna keep my arm pinned back as I reach that chest forward, looking for that stretch on that chest muscle in the front of the shoulder. If I need a little bit more, I can turn the body away a little bit, and you can mess around with the height of the elbow, just so you can get as much of a good stretch here as possible. I'm gonna hold this for 30 seconds per side. The other reason why I like to talk about the nitty-gritty is because that's just life, you know, and talking with just experience with my clients, especially my private clients, because we can talk on that level a little bit more often. That is where the rubber meets the road, and sometimes we don't have those people that we can go there with. And so I want to create a space for that for people, is that let's talk about the hard things of life. Even if we don't get a solution, let's just open up the conversation. Let's get it out into the light and get the other side. I'd much rather, that's something I felt myself, which it's not an uncommon thing, right? You guys have felt that before. It's like if it stays rattled up in your head all the time and it never gets let out in a capacity, it sometimes does more damage just staying in your head versus actually talking it out with a trusted friend. Even a therapist, honestly. I know some people get embarrassed if they feel like they have to go to a therapist, but it is so helpful getting that unbiased opinion. And they can teach you life skills too. I've gone to a therapist. She's fantastic. Helped me out a ton. So it's nothing to be ashamed about to get that kind of help. I have a friend that's a therapist as well, and we were having a conversation about that actually, of how like her job and my job should not exist. Of that, on my side of things, I'm working out is a replacement for physical labor that we used to do all the time. And we just don't do that as often anymore unless you're working an actual physical job. And then her job, being a therapist, she said it shouldn't exist in a perfect community. Like if people are loving each other, treating each other well, having those conversations, there's no need there for a therapist, which I thought was really interesting that she said that. Let's see. You should include it in your stream tag. Oh yeah. Okay, I'm gonna get my notebook. I'm not gonna do a screenshot again because that ruined my stream. So philosophical. I've never even heard that term, philosophical. Fitspo queen. And apparently I can't talk and write at the same time either. Philosophical. There we go. Yeah, I need to work better at tags and understanding them better anyway, so thank you for that suggestion. I will work on that. Maybe that will attract more people. That'd be good. Some like-minded people, right? So you guys are with me. Straight arm version of chest stretch. Same idea. Arm is straight. This time you can kind of experiment with turning the elbow pit forward or turning it up to the ceiling. I'm going to turn it forward this time around. And then again, turning away. Actually, no. I'm going to turn it up to the ceiling. That would make more sense. help stretch out that muscle more. There we go. And then again, you can play around with the height of the arm. I'm turning the whole body away from the pole this time. Holding this for 30 seconds. Whew. Well, hopefully you guys don't mind the deep conversations. And I would love to hear your guys' thoughts too, by the way. I definitely don't know everything. That's why I like to talk to different people with different perspectives, because there's definitely different angles I've never considered before. If we all talk together, maybe we can have a better picture of what's going on. Or as my yoga instructor would say, we each everybody's looking at an elephant, but each person is looking at a different aspect of the elephant and talking about just their aspect, even though they're talking about the same thing, the elephant. It's just a different part of the elephant. Does that make sense? So, but if we are able to have a conversation together, maybe, just maybe, we can have a better understanding of the entire elephant and not just the part that we're staring at. Ooh. Yeah, this right side has got tight. Everything felt pretty good today, though. I'm really happy with today. Went up in some weights. Or if I had a weight last time, I did all 3 sets with said weight, except for the chest flies. I did 20s last time, and I thought I did 25, and I did the first set with 25. It did not, it went fine, but it was really, really hard. And I wasn't able to get the complete amount of reps in. All right, I'm gonna do one more chest stretch. I love these. So this bottom arm one, I love this version. So the arm is low, arm is still straight, and same deal as the other one. I'm just turning the body away. Again, I can play around with the height, get as much stretch across that shoulder and chest as possible. This kind of hits more up in here for me, which apparently is really tight, and this just feels amazing. If you are doing a lot of desk work, or if you sit often, or even if you're standing, but maybe you're leaning over a counter, for example, if you work in the kitchen often, so dishwashing, cutting, chopping, cooking, anything that's kind of like that hunched over position, the chest muscles are a great thing to stretch out, especially if you're experiencing shoulder pain. Sometimes lengthening out those chest muscles. Oh, yes, there's a neck pop I was looking for all day. Sometimes these chest muscles can help out with that. And sometimes it'll help you pop your neck, which is a recent discovery of mine for my neck. My neck is, again, another part of my mystery. I'm hoping to learn more about the neck. Talking about a bajillion muscles in the neck, too. All working synergistically. So it's a little bit of a brain game in of itself. So I'd like to learn more about the neck. Not just stretching them out. I feel like I'm doing that pretty well. But I want to learn more about strengthening, because I think my neck doesn't need more lengthening. It's pretty mobile, but it definitely needs the strengthening aspect. And that's what I want to learn more about. So just like the shoulder blades are a bit complicated, because there's so many muscles that attach to them between the shoulder blades and the shoulder joint itself. But they all have their own set of timing, and I feel like the neck muscles are very similar to that. Not to mention they're connected with a lot of the shoulder stuff too. I haven't had the time to dig into that quite yet. I'm hoping that maybe in the next few months I'll be able to do more of a deep dive into that. That'll be good. Whew. Twitch is my deep dive right now. All right, so those are chest muscles. Rhomboids, stretching them out, and I'll review this in the muscle of the day review. I'm going to interlace the fingers. You can either, if the wrists are really tight, you can take the knuckles forward, but I'm pulling the shoulder blades apart. I can even arch the upper spine a little bit, so I get a good stretch on those rhomboids in between the shoulder blades and the spine. Whew. The inhales can help increase that stretch a little bit more. And exhales, continue to reach the hands forward. If the wrists are feeling pretty good, you can flip the hands around and have the palms facing, there we go, towards the wall. Still pulling those shoulder blades apart. And then if you need a little extra something with this one, you can even add a side bend. And that kind of gets into some fun stuff. A little bit of lats. Of course, the obliques are all tied in there. A little bit of quadratus lumborum, tiny bit. It's a low back muscle. Again, we'll talk about all these guys. Talk about lats. Whew, next program too. After I do those though, I do like to open up the chest, bring the arms backwards. Get that chest lift again. Just to remind myself to stay in that more open position. Oh, shake it out. All right, here we go. You resigned your job last week. What? Man, oh man. So wait, I thought, are you working, you're working with your wife, is that right? So you guys are working at the same company? Or is that something else that you resigned from? Maybe I misunderstood this whole time. But yeah, giving some air in your busy life, that would be nice. And some extra time is nice, for sure. I need it. That work-life balance, and especially throwing family in there, work-life family balance is really great. Yay, thank you for the follow. Woo, thanks for hopping in. Thanks for sticking with us. Shoulder stretch, there we go. I'm gonna take the arm across the chest. There we go. Watch this shoulder. It tends to like to hike up. See if you can keep it down away from the ear. Hopefully I'm not hitting the mic. There we go. Just breathe, holding this for about 30 seconds. Let's see. Oh, different companies. Oh, you work in clinical trials, she works in the hospital. Okay, gotcha. For some reason, my brain mashed those two together. All right, so that'll be good. That'll be good. So is that, are you gonna look for another job, or are you just gonna be like, let's just focus on the kids, let's get them going, that kind of thing, which is also a full-time job, right? Take the arm across the chest. Again, I'm not a parent, but I'm watching a lot of parents, and it's a lot. It is a lot. Especially because you have a teenager now, right? And the other two are definitely active. Whew. There you go. Yeah, focus on the family for short term. Good deal. Good deal. Excuse me. But that'll be good. That's going to be some fun times with Dad they're not going to forget. So that's going to be really cool. Oh. And I think, did we talk about this yet? Do they do homeschool or do they have public school? How do you guys, I know we talked about food. You guys are on the same page with that, which is awesome. And celebrating life, right? Yeah. Life's too short. You gotta have fun with it. Enjoy it along the way. Oh, I know there's another reason why I'm in this mindset. I was reading through the book of Ecclesiastes. That's why. There we go. I finished that up not too long ago, and I guess I'm still in that mindset. All right, what stretch am I going to do? I'm going to show you guys the hang. Didn't mention that earlier. Or I mentioned it earlier, but I didn't do anything with it earlier. All right, so you got your bar overhead. And there's a couple different ways you can do this. You can do this with the hand with the overhand grip. And if you can't touch the floor, you can put like a couple yoga blocks or, of course, a chair, a block under your feet or a step. And then I'm just going to let the shoulder blades come up to the ears. I've got my toes on the ground. I can take my feet off the ground. Just get as dead of a hang as possible. And breathe. This is hard on the grip. But Ecclesiastes opens up with a line with, vanity, vanity, all is vanity. Which, when I was reading through the commentary, apparently it was during a time period where pessimistic literature was a common thing, where it's just like, life is woe, what's the point of anything, you know? So Ecclesiastes, I guess, was written in that time period. Oh, really? So homeschooling is not common there. Interesting. Okay. Do you guys like the schools there? Is a pretty good opinion of the school systems? Because here, and I'm more of like Midwest, and so I have a friend that's worked both in Illinois and Tennessee, and then I have friends here in Kentucky that work. But this kind of, I don't know if it's like a nationwide thing, but in our area, it's just like schools have kind of gone downhill. Like the education obviously is important, but it's like they want to teach what the government wants to teach, which is fine. I mean, like there's a level of standardization, which is okay, but then it's to the point where the teachers don't really get the freedom to actually do their job. And that's the problem. And so it's not even fun for the teachers, and that's kind of the outlook here. And so like homeschooling has gotten really big out here. It's gotten a lot more popular. And like it's to the point where like if my husband and I ever have kids, we're probably going to go the homeschool route as well, just because it's just so sad. And then what my friend had to deal with, a lot of kids come from broken homes, which that's neither here nor there, but sometimes that causes behavior problems, and instead of it being dealt with at home, they have to deal with it at school. And so they're just managing behaviors instead of actually teaching curriculum. So that's been kind of frustrating for them too. And I don't know if you guys have heard, you may have heard, we've had more school shootings and everything lately, so just kind of the safety concerns have gotten higher. Oh, what I'm doing here, I flipped my grip, so now I'm doing a reverse grip. Palms are towards my face, lowering down again, so this stretches out the lats a little bit more, which is a big old muscle that can also get pretty tight. So there's a safety risk as well. That's kind of increasing. Whew. But sometimes, at least out here, sometimes the homeschool kids can actually be smarter, but then like the social aspect kind of suffers a little bit unless you get involved with other homeschool kids. So there's that little game to play too. So public school is nice because you get the socialization, but the quality has gone downhill for a bit. Versus homeschool, you really have to focus on the social part. Make sure you still have that. Let's see. It's okay, not bad. Best education in Western Europe is in Scandinavia, really. Yeah, sensitive topic, those guns, yeah. It's such a weird topic. It's like flipping the coin, right? It's two sides of the same coin kind of conversation where you see the pros and the cons, and just kind of seeing what outweighs the other for sure. I'm glad you guys don't have that problem. It's increasingly a concern. And then the other thing about the gun topic too, I think, is like people want to make it just about the guns, and that is just one sliver of the whole problem, in my opinion. It's like they're just looking at the guns, but then it's just like, okay, well, why are they in that mental state to begin with? Were there warning signs before that? Is there a way they could have gotten help before that? What kind of family life do they have? What's their social life like? Are they included in something? Do they feel like they're more integrated? There's a lot of other questions I think that we need to be asking. We're just looking at one side of the elephant, right? And we're just thinking like we're looking at, I don't know, the tail, not necessarily it's the behind or anything, but just we're looking at one distinctive feature. It's like, this is the tail, this is the problem. And then we're kind of like forgetting about like the rest of the elephant. And so I think we need to ask more questions. What is really at the root of the problem? Because whether it's a gun, whether it's a camera, whether it's a pen, whether it's a sword, like it's not the object, it's who's behind the object. And we're blaming guns, but we're not talking about the people using the guns. Does that make sense? It's like there's so many other aspects to it than just guns. Now there are guns that we can have here that I don't know why we can have, like semi-automatics and those quick fire guns. I don't really understand why the general public has those. In my opinion, like hunting rifles, if you're actually going to go hunting, things like that. That's one thing. But like we have people out here. It's good gun country out here. Where we live, but they'll talk about their guns, and then they'll have like a plethora of these ones. I'm like, why do you even have that? What, are you expecting like an army? Like some of those things I don't quite understand. But yeah, so that conversation has a lot of nuances to it. I was going to do one more stretch. What was that? I did the chest, did the rhomboids, did the shoulders, did the hang, which kind of basically covers everything. Yeah, for real. It's pretty insane how much is allowed here. My husband was looking at a gun for snake purposes, like if he's out on the job and they see snakes, they can shoot the snake or whatever. And I don't know. I mean, I just walk the other way than from the snake, but that's just me. But he looked at this one that was, I think it was called the Judge, and it was like this ginormous pistol, and I'm like, why? You don't need a gun that big. But it was basically like a tiny shotgun. Yeah, it's hard to see a way back. Yeah, for sure. Because there's a lot of responsibility with that, right? I mean, we have gun safety classes and everything for a reason. We have them registered for a reason. And that's the other part of the conversation is that gun thing is sometimes people are not even using the guns that they're registered with. Like sometimes it's stolen, sometimes it's like a relative's. So like they're not even using the gun that they've registered with. So that's another part of the problem. It's just like, are we not screening well? What else needs to be screened in order to just make sure they're more effectively used? You know, there's just a lot, a lot of questions. I really don't remember the last stretch I was going to do. I already got the hang really messed me up because it kind of hits a little everything. I'm feeling pretty good. Yeah, so we'll go ahead and finish up. Let me grab my cards here and do that last little review so you guys can see the pictures of the rhomboids again. Yeah, good luck with that. Thanks. All right, so again, we're not going to solve all the world's issues in 2 hours, right? We can try, but we can try, but probably not today. All right, so little review for our muscle of the day. The muscle of the day is the rhomboids. So this is a shoulder blade muscle. So this is looking at the back of someone, just like all the other muscles we've talked about so far, they've split them into 2 separate ones for the rhomboids. There's the rhomboid major, which is the bigger section. As you can see, it connects on the inner border of the scapula of the shoulder blade and then connects into those thoracic vertebrae. And so it helps, again, it goes in the direction of the muscle fibers. It helps pull that shoulder blade in towards the spine and a little bit of that shoulder blade tilt. So it'll actually pull the shoulder joint back a little bit as well. So that helps with a lot of posture. And then the second one, very similarly shaped, but much smaller, is the rhomboid minor. So it sits higher onto the shoulder blade and then connects into the thoracic and a little bit of the cervical vertebrae. So it's C7 right there, as you can see. And it helps, again, pull the shoulder blade in towards the spine, but there's a little bit of elevation with that too sometimes too, or with that. And so with these muscles together, usually when you look up rhomboids, they go ahead and put both of them together, but these flashcards separate them out. No right or wrong with that, but rhomboids, they're talking about rhomboid major and minor together, which again help pull the shoulder blades back. So that's a lot of the rows that we did today, the bent over row, close grip row, high elbow row, and then like the stretch, again, pulling the shoulder blades apart. So it's like the shoulder blade is wrapping around the rib cage, getting further from the spine. So these muscles are really important for anything with pulling motions. So if you're even like picking up a kid off the ground, I'm gonna tilt this a little bit. There we go. So if you're picking up a kid off the ground, which is a functional thing, right? So when I'm lowering down, when I pick them up, I'm not just using my arms, I'm actually using those shoulder blades to help stabilize the shoulder joint as I pick them up. So those rhomboids are really important for anything pulling or picking things up, holding the weights in a deadlift, so which again is that picking up the kid motion. I'm trying to think of anything that's pulling in everyday life. Pulling a door open would be using the rhomboids, so that would definitely be, you know, a functional movement. Let's open this door and walk through, especially if it's a really heavy door, right? being able to stabilize the spine, even though the shoulder blade is moving, or the rhomboids are stretching out when the arm goes overhead, it helps stabilize this motion, and especially on the way down, it'll contract a little bit. So the rhomboids are a muscle of many functions, but essentially it helps with your posture and keeping that shoulder joint safe and stable. So those are very, very, very important. Yeah, I love these flashcards. So talking about like that couple of years ago where I had some, all those people passed away. One of them was actually a client of mine. It was my first client that's passed away. She was 82. She had a form of cancer. It was very sad, and I'm glad that I was able to be there. But she's the one who gave me these flashcards, and I'm really grateful. They've been super helpful, and it makes me think of her every single time, so it's very sweet for me. Love that client. And yes, yeah, showing up a muscle back with those rhomboids for sure. Yeah, so I love those back muscles. They're so pretty. There's just so many of them, and they're just so pretty. All right, any other questions about the rhomboids before I hop off of here? I'm still trying to think of that last stretch I was going to do, and I can't think of it. But yeah, if there's no other questions, comments, concerns, I will see you guys on next Monday, again from 2 to 4 p.m. Central Time is when Monday is the next one, and then also on Wednesdays I stream at the same time, 2 to 4 Central Time. And let's see, I feel like there's something else with that. So we got Twitch affiliate, so you can subscribe if you like. Again, all the money that goes, that comes from Twitch will go directly into this gym project that is going to be building a gym for this community. They've never had anything like this before, and it's going to be great. These guys need something, and it's just going to be a community space as well. So talking about, getting together and talking about these things is going to be great. Ooh, finishing lat raises, nice. Those good old lateral raises. Yeah, thank you. Is that a new emoji? Because I like that one. He's got a little heart. He's cute. All right. All right, well, good luck with the rest of your lateral raises, Clemens, and everybody else that's been viewing. I see I have 4 on here. Thank you for joining me. I really appreciate you spending your time with me. That's not a small thing. I'm really honored by that, and I hope you guys have learned something, at least been entertained, right? And maybe we'll talk about more philosophical things and solve all the world's problems. Who knows? But love you guys, and I will see you on Monday. Have a great week and weekend. Bye.